Dear partners, we want to welcome you to our third EMEA Smart Home Summit today in Zurich. As promised, 363 days ago at the second EMEA Smart Home Summit, our new auditorium in Zurich is ready and waiting for you. Unfortunately, it needs to wait another year, but nevertheless, you already get a first glimpse how it will be next year. My name is Philip Ries, and with me today is Jill Kumin, who is, as always, the driving force behind the event, and normally managing some of our most important partnerships within the smart home ecosystem in EMEA. Jill, what can we expect today of our first virtual summit and our third smart home summit overall?
Well, after a brief introduction of our team, we will quickly explain what we are doing and show some of the EMEA highlights we had in the past couple of months. Before Michelle Turner, Director of Product Management of our smart home ecosystem, is taking over the virtual stage. She will tell us how we see users interacting with their devices at home and how we are continuing to build towards a helpful home. The focus will be on how our partners can benefit from a deeper integration with the Google Assistant ecosystem. After Michelle's keynote, our Vera Zoneva will lead a panel around the smart home industry and the impact of COVID-19 on their businesses. On the panel, we will have Jessie Liu, CFO of Tuya, Chris Andrews, Strategic Partnership and Collaboration Leader of IKEA, Bill Baxter, CTO of Vizio, and Zanjin Kang, Head of North America Partnership from LG. In addition to these, you also find on our event site several videos around our smart home platform and how to integrate with it in the best possible way.
Wow, that sounds like interesting content. Thanks, Jill, for helping make this happen. We are extremely excited and proud that we have more than 700 people from 150 companies with us today. Obviously, the last couple of weeks were heavily influenced by one topic, the coronavirus. We just wanted to take a moment and show you some resources that Google prepared for our partners globally that not everyone might be aware of. Let me start with the COVID-19 Community Mobility Report. You can access it on google.com COVID-19 Mobility. If you scroll down a little bit, you can search by country or region. Let me do this for Zurich right now. You can see you can choose the language, and then you can download a PDF with the report. If you look at the report of Zurich right now, you see that the normally very popular public transport is not used that much, and that a lot of people are still working from home. In addition to that, you see that there is a big peak for parks and recreation in Zurich right now. Another tool that exists since many years offers interesting insights as well. This is the well-known Google Trends. You can access it on trends.google.com. I took here the geo for the UK. As usual, you can enter a search term or a topic and you get insights about this right here. What we prepared in this time is insights about the coronavirus. If you go and read more, you can access these insights. You have insights about search behavior, but also about rising consumer interest. And I think especially interesting for you, you can find insights about the UK economy. With that, let's leave the pandemic behind us for a couple minutes. I would love to introduce to you our EMEA team and what we do. We are a pretty and small team of 6. Veteran to the left started the team in EMEA 2.5 years ago. He covers, together with Jill and Max on the right, our smart home partners. Gorenda in the middle covers our carrier partnerships for Google Assistant, and on the very right we have our newest team member, Adrian, who will cover for Jill during her maternity leave. The team is normally based in Zurich and London. During the last couple of weeks, it has spread a little wider to Croatia, Belarus, and Ireland. The goal of our team is to enable the Google Assistant ecosystem to our partners in the smart home and carrier industry. Besides to enable the best possible integrations together with our technical team in London and our teams in the US, we are also working hard to enable the best go-to-market approach together. Jill, you prepared some content on this. What do you want to show us today?
Yes, Philip. I prepared some examples of our partnership with Electrolux. They did a nice 360-degree campaign showing the benefit of a deep integration into our ecosystem. They did some nice video coverage where you can see the integration in action. Let me show a video of it.
Okay, Google, turn on the oven.
Okay, turning on the oven.
Oh, thanks for the video, Jill. Well done, and it shows the use case in a very pure and calm way. Do you have another example?
Yes, they also produced a very nice video for the French customers in collaboration with Boulanger. Let me show this to you and our partners as well.
Ok Google,
C'est quoi ça?
que puis-je faire avec 3 pommes?
Voici des recettes de tarte aux pommes.
Franchement, moi la tarte aux pommes, je te la fais les yeux fermés.
Casser 2 œufs.
J'obéis aux ingrédients.
Ah ouais.
C'est une conversation avec le fruit. Je pense pas à la recette. Non, c'est elle qui vient à moi. On se parle d'art, on se parle d'émotion.
Ok Google, réchauffe le feu.
Connexion avec la tarte.
Retrouvez tout l'univers de la cuisine connectée chez Boulanger. Boulanger, si bien ensemble.
Okay, that was really funny, even with my limited French capabilities. Jill, can you tell us maybe other learnings from partners in EMEA?
Certainly. We see in many cases that there is a strong partnership between the manufacturer, the retailer, in this example Boulanger, and us. Another example is Electrolux initiative in collaboration with the cheese store. Electrolux offered their customers a voucher for a Google Home Mini in combination with buying a connected oven. This is just one of the examples, how you can add more value to your product or services by bundling it with Google hardware. We see partners of us bundling devices, be present on the Google Store, or offer their customer a discount for a Google device. Important is certainly to explain the new possibilities of their smart products to their users. A lot of them are still new to smart devices, and the endless possibility need to be properly taught. We also see more and more interesting concepts at the retail stores, where retailers build smart home areas and have trained people explaining and showing these amazing products and integrations with our ecosystem to consumers.
Thanks, Jill. Before we come to an end of our short EMEA intro, I want to show you an integration of our US partner Dish, an American-based TV service provider. Garenda is working with EMEA partners to bring this kind of user experience to our region. Integrations like this are another step forward to our vision to the helpful home. But please have a look yourself.
I know people love the Dish remote. It's great. So why build in the Google Assistant? I mean, who really needs a TV remote that can turn the thermostat up,
change temperature to 72,
the lights down,
dim the lights,
and still access their DVR?
play Rio?
Actually, some people could absolutely use a remote like that. The new Dish voice remote. Dish, tuned in to you.
So with that, we want to say thank you again. Thank you for the great partnerships. We miss seeing you live.
We hope you're all doing well. See you again at the next Smart Home Summit, or hopefully even earlier.
With that, we want to welcome Michelle on the virtual stage. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Michelle Turner, the Director of Product for the Google Smart Home ecosystem. Thank you for joining us today, and welcome to our first ever virtual Smart Home Summit. How we gather and meet today has changed due to COVID-19, and while we may have missed the chance to meet you at Google I/O or some of our other in-person summits, we're really excited to use this forum to share some of the key Google Smart Home updates. In this session, I'll cover the latest product developments around the Works with Google Assistant ecosystem, an update on where we are with the Works with Nest transition, and our perspective on Project Connected Home over IP. Google's no longer a company that just helps you find answers. With each product we build, we're focused on helping users get stuff done. In Gmail, for example, we are suggesting words to finish sentences. And in Maps, we're helping you find the fastest way home. And in the home, we want to make it more convenient for users to manage their home devices and build upon this foundation towards a helpful home that enables true automation. COVID-19 has impacted us significantly, and everyone is spending a lot more time at home. This lifestyle will likely not change given the convenience of online shopping, video streaming, and remote work. Right now, there's a greater need than ever for us to support the individual needs of people living, working, and learning together under one roof. So let's talk smart home with the latest on the Works with Google Assistant program. As I just mentioned, all of us have been spending a lot more time at home. In fact, many of you may be watching the stream from the comfort of your own home. Based on a recent survey, 7 out of 10 of you expect to be continuing this trend for a while. With all of us home more often, smart devices are being used a bit more, with the biggest growth coming from entertainment devices. Smart speakers and displays are increasingly being used as a form of entertainment, and connected TVs are becoming the norm, with over 80% of US TV households having at least one connected TV. Because of the increased use of smart TVs, we're increasing our support for entertainment devices with our Smart Home API. We're excited to announce the public release of new Smart Home for Entertainment, or SHED, device types and traits, giving users the ability to control their favorite entertainment devices from any assistant surface, mobile, speaker, or display. SHED represents a huge opportunity to expand the assistant capability with smart entertainment devices that users already have in their home. In fact, 40% of those connected TV households use the devices daily, and we've seen this continue to grow since shelter-in-place went into effect. Last year, we announced Google Assistant support for TVs, remotes, set-top boxes, speakers, soundbars, and even game consoles from top brands like Xbox, Roku, Dish, and LG. And now we're making these APIs public for any TV, set-top box, or game developer to use. With the newly launched SHED traits, an avid gamer can say, "Hey G, play Gears 5 on Xbox," or any other games. And anyone can relax after a busy day to enjoy sporting events by saying something like, "Hey G, tune to ESPN," or "Hey G, make it louder." If you're an entertainment device manufacturer, we invite you to take a look at our SHED documentation and start building today. Speaking of spending more time at home, people are finding that it's more important than ever to focus on wellness, and sleep is a critical part in maintaining our overall well-being. Our bodies are designed to wake up and fall asleep based on the presence and absence of natural light. Yet our alarms today are designed to be jarring, interrupted, and unnatural. No wonder few of us enjoy waking up to our alarms every morning. Additionally, almost half of US adults say they have trouble sleeping, up from 1/3 only a few years ago. In an effort to improve sleep patterns by better emulating the natural ebb and flow of light during the day, we are launching the Gentle Sleep Wake feature. The Wake Up feature slowly brightens the lights before your alarm, allowing you to gently wake up to a simulated sunrise that creates a warm glow, gently nudging you into consciousness. Similarly, the Sleep feature gently dims lights over a period of time of your choosing, allowing you to wind down during their bedtime routines. This feature integrates seamlessly with your morning alarms, allowing you to set it and forget it, or can be evoked for immediate brightening or dimming of your lights. We think this is a powerful new feature that you can bring to your customers. This feature will be launching later this year, and we need your help in telling users about it. We also encourage you to integrate or build your own unique experiences leveraging this capability. But if not, we'll emulate it using a series of brightness and color commands on our end. Over the last 2 years, to enable a helpful home experience, we focused on foundational features necessary to make it easier for a user to manage their smart device. We started by enabling users to use their voice to control their devices. We added touch controls to allow for device interaction with smart displays, and we continue to build an experience where the assistant is multimodal, where voice and touch complement each other. After seeing the phenomenal touch engagement from users on smart displays and in the Google Home app, we're expanding our touch controls to the OS. And what better way to enable that than with our mobile footprint on Android? With the release of Android 11 coming out later this year, we are introducing a dedicated, persistent space for smart home controls that users can find quickly and use anytime. We redesigned the power menu to make devices linked to the Google Assistant just a button press away. Users with the Home app can choose all or just their favorite controls to be in the space. For partners, you get this for free. There's no new development work required of you to get this benefit. We believe this is going to make it really easy to access your devices while on the go. It's going to enable use cases like being able to unlock your door and turn on the lights when you're approaching the house. We'll also have sliders which allow you to adjust the specific settings, like temperature of your thermostat in the morning or how far to open the blinds. This entire OS experience is built on top of the foundation that we've established in the Google Home app. And conveniently for users, they can quickly link back to the Home app for deeper device controls and advanced capabilities like routines. Finally, we built this by putting user privacy first. Every device must be authenticated before it can be used in this mode, and users can even choose to hide these controls from showing up at all until they're authenticated. So we're launching everywhere on September 8th, and we'd love your help. Your business reps can help with more detail, but here are the biggest areas to work on. First of all, marketing. Get the word out about this with emails, notifications, and updating your existing assets. Second, device setup. Please make sure your linking experience is easy with app flip and 3P deep linking. And finally, let's make sure that your device is integrated with all the relevant traits, launched globally, and is providing high quality state data. With this presence on the home screen, it's more important than ever that we are getting really high quality integrations. With Android 11, we want to give users a quick and easy way to check on or adjust their devices on the home. As we continue to add new surfaces for device control, it becomes more critical to ensure that we have accurate state. Our team is going to be providing tools to measure your reliability and latency that will help you improve and debug state reporting. Once you hit key targets for reliability and latency, we're going to shift from the default of querying your state to using report state to render controls and trigger routines. This will reduce query volume on your servers and improve the user experience with accurate device state across multiple surfaces. And in addition to state accuracy, the best user experience comes with strong reliability and low latency. To help solve reliability and latency issues, we launched local execution with the Local Home SDK back in April. As part of the Smart Home platform, local fulfillment extends your smart home action and routes commands to devices through the local network, benefiting users with reduced latency and higher reliability by removing an additional cloud hop. To ease the development process, the Local Home platform supports both Chrome and Node.js runtime environments, as well as building and testing of apps on local development machines or personal servers. Once you've deployed your local fulfillment app, users will benefit immediately without having to upgrade hardware or manually update firmware. Our local execution solution makes sure Smart Home just works, with real-time control and a seamless developer experience. We're already working with a growing list of partners to enable local execution for their devices, and have launched several partners with this feature, like Philips Hue, Nanoleaf, and Yeelight. Head on over to the developer console today to start to implement local fulfillment for your action. Implementing high-quality integration is important. It reduces churn and delights users. Yet there's still a critical gap to try to get users to try these use cases, and we're doing a couple of things on our end to increase the funnel of users linked to your action. We are excited to launch App Flip on the developer console today. With App Flip, we reduce the standard account linking flow to just 2 steps by flipping users from the Google Home app to the partner app without requiring an additional sign-in. More discovery and linking initiatives are coming soon, so please be on the lookout for details. There are various ways for you to increase awareness of your action. Given that the majority of assisted smart home users start their journey in your app, this is a great place to initiate the account linking flow. There will be more opportunities to increase awareness through feature promotion and in-app notification using your app, and we'll have more details on discovery and linking opportunities later this year. So we know that visibility into the behavior of your smart home integrations is critical, from debugging and early development to detailed analytics and production. To enhance developer productivity, we've integrated with the powerful monitoring and troubleshooting tools available in Google Cloud Platform to provide detailed event logs and usage metrics for smart home projects. We've enhanced project logging in 3 key areas: Local Home SDK, account linking, and assistant events, to help developers debug and resolve issues quickly with Google Cloud Logging. You can view and analyze log entries directly in the developer console or build logs-based metrics to find trends and gain deeper insights into common problems. Speaking of metrics, you'll find a new smart home analytics dashboard accessible from the developer console and pre-populated with charts for common metrics such as daily active users and request breakdown, giving you an overall picture of your integration's behavior. This dashboard is monitored by new usage and performance metrics in the Google Cloud Monitoring, giving you the power to set alerts and be notified if your integration has an issue. You can get started with this today by going to the Analytics tab in the Actions console or the Google Cloud console to check out these new logs and metrics for your project. I know many of you who are joining us for this keynote are familiar with our Works with Nest program and the changes that we announced last year. I'll take a few minutes now to share with you our progress on the Works with Nest transition and provide an update on what we're doing to create an ecosystem that offers our partners and developers greater flexibility in creating a helpful home. Last year, we announced our plans to transition Works with Nest to the Works with Google Assistant ecosystem and build on a foundation of privacy and data security to ensure our users have confidence in how Google and our partners are protecting the consumer's home data. As a result, our users will have more control and transparency over how their data is shared and how our developers will have a simplified experience in delivering home automation. To continue to support Works with Nest partners that have their own smart home platforms and ecosystems, we announced the Device Access Program, enabling qualified partners to use our API to request secure access and control of users' Nest devices within the partners' apps and solutions, providing our mutual customers more choice on how to control their home. For example, a user that owns a security system can choose to opt in their Nest thermostats on other smart home devices so they can be viewed and controlled via the security system provider app, as long as that partner is part of the Device Access Program. All Device Access partners must pass an annual security assessment from one of our authorized testers, as well as agree to the terms of service. Users are always in control and choose which Nest products they want to share with the partner. To support the Device Access Program, we will soon launch the Device Access Console. This console will be available for both individuals and commercial developers. As a commercial developer, the console allows you to manage your various projects and integrations. It also provides development guides and trait documentation for all supported Nest devices. The self-serve console guides you through the different project phases: development, certification, and pilot testing, and finally production. In each stage, we ensure that our mutual users' privacy and security is maintained. Individuals who want to create their own automations with their Nest devices will now be able to do so with this console, but will be restricted to a limited number of structures and users. One of the most popular Works with Nest features is to automatically trigger routines based on whether users are home or away. Later this year, we'll bring that same functionality to the Google Assistant through presence detection, the start of an integrated intelligence engine that drives how both Nest and third-party ecosystem partner products react when users are home or away. Users can select which Nest and mobile devices are used to collect the data that determines home away status. For instance, when the sensors indicate that it's clear that there's nobody home, an away routine can turn down the thermostat, turn off the lights, and run a smart vacuum. Also, users can build their own routines from scratch or opt into common ones that we've made for them. Home and away routines can be created from the Google Home app or Assistant apps. More information on home away will be coming in the next few weeks. Another way that you'll be able to innovate on our platform and provide more helpful experiences to users is by extending automatic and user-created routines with custom partner routines. The most innovative Works with Nest integrations were built by our third-party partners, so we'll be recreating that capability by enabling partners to build custom routines. Developers will be able to create and suggest routines not just for their devices, but routines that their devices can work with other devices in a customer's home. You'll be able to create solutions for your customers that are based on your core business and value to your consumers. Whether it's wellness, cleaning, entertainment, security, it's up to you. Users will be able to browse and opt into approved routines and to choose to have Nest and other devices react and participate in that routine. This developer capability is being built with security and privacy at its core. There's no need for partners to access user personal information or device data since the routine is managed by the assistant. We'll also protect users and partners alike by limiting device actions to just certain device categories that are non-security or privacy related. We're still building the infrastructure to enable these experiences, so please stay tuned for more on custom partner routines that will be coming later this year. So now I'd like to give you an update on what we're doing with Project Connected Home over IP. While smart home devices are abundant, The lack of an industry-wide connectivity standard leaves people confused and frustrated while trying to understand what they need to make their home smart and how to set up these devices. It also places a heavy burden on manufacturers to make sure that their devices are compatible with the various ecosystems versus spending precious resources on their core competencies. That's why back in December 2019, we announced that we're forming a working group together with Amazon, Apple, and the Zigbee Alliance to develop and drive adoption of a new smart home connectivity standard. This initiative is called Project Connected Home over IP and intends to solve the protocol fragmentation issue. Similar to how USB evolved to become a plug-and-play connectivity standard, this initiative aims to give consumers the choice of which connected home ecosystem, whether it's Google Assistant, Alexa, HomeKit, or another, that they want their smart home products to be able to participate in. This means that device manufacturers can build a single product to one standard and save on cost and time to market with one protocol to implement, which has broad compatibility. A key aspect of the effort is the use of IP as a foundational building block in the standard. Today, there's no widely adopted open standard for smart home, which is built upon IP, and yet IP is the protocol of the internet as the most common network layer used in our homes and offices. Because of the unique ability for IP to bring together disparate network technologies, IP is an ideal way to deliver end-to-end security and privacy in communication between a device and another device, or an app or service. This protocol will run on IP networks like Wi-Fi, Thread for low-power mesh, and Bluetooth for device commissioning. We're a big believer in this new connectivity standard. We've not only open sourced and contributed technologies like Weave, we are actively involved in the work group to bring it to life, integrating it into our products and working with partners to deliver this simpler experience to our customers. As Project Connected Home over IP's initial specification gets released in late 2020, we will have more information on how it will tie into Works with Google Assistant. In the meantime, nothing changes for our existing smart home developer program. Your current smart home products will continue to work with the Google Assistant, and we encourage you to keep innovating using technologies that are available today, like the Smart Home API and the Local Home SDK. If you'd like to get involved or receive updates, please check out connectedhomeip.com to sign up for news and also to join the Project Connected Home over IP work group in the Zigbee Alliance to help define this next generation standard. Our smart home efforts have grown significantly over the past years. We now have integrations with thousands of partners covering all the major connected product categories and devices, and have embarked on an ambitious project to build deeper in-home integrations through our leadership in Project Connected Home over IP. Together, we are on track to deliver the most comprehensive and robust set of smart home capabilities to our mutual users with privacy and security at the core. Stay tuned for more updates later this year. We really want to hear from you, so continue sharing your feedback with us through the Public Issue Tracker and engage with other smart home developers in the Reddit community. Follow Actions on Google on Twitter and tweet us to share what you're working on, because we really can't wait to see what you build.
Hi, everyone. I want to start by welcoming you all to this panel. My name is Vera Tsonova, and I lead partnerships for smart home at Google. This is our first ever digital summit. As many of you know, we canceled Google I/O given the circumstances, but we still wanted to come together as a community to have a discussion, to share updates, and really meet to talk about the circumstances. We recognize that these are trying times. They've had a significant impact on us as people, as individuals, in ways large and small, and they've also had really significant impact on us and our businesses in ways small and large. I'm really thankful to be joined here by 4 leaders in our industry to try and unpack that just a bit. I appreciate their time. I'm dialing in here from California in the US, and then we have a few other people dialing in from the US. We have someone dialing in very late from China, someone dialing in this evening in Sweden. So really appreciate the flexibility here. And I'll introduce all 4 of them, starting with Jesse, who is the CFO of Tuya. Prior to Tuya, Jesse was an executive director at UBS and led some of the large transactions at that bank and has had a long career in both finance and technology. We also have Chris Andrews at IKEA. He is a leader in the strategic partnerships group. Before that, he was at Sony Ericsson and at Sony Mobile as well. We also have Sungjin Kang at LG. He's had a long career at LG. Currently, he's the head of North America partnerships, but he has also done significant work at LG in corporate strategy and product planning. And then we also have Bill Baxter, who's the CTO of Vizio. He is a serial entrepreneur, has even IPO'd one of his companies, B Square, and he is kind of a prolific publisher on research in computing. So I'm very thrilled to have all 4 of them here, and a wholehearted thank you, and I very much look forward to this discussion. I'll start the conversation with an icebreaker. Some of us are working from home. Some of us actually have started going back to the office, but we have all had this shared experience of working from home. So I'll start by saying, by asking, what has been your favorite smart device while you've been working from home? And let's start with Bill.
Well, I think it's going to be a little self-serving, but I have to say it's my Vizio 43-inch M series because I can have it as my desktop monitor. I can cast my screen to it from multiple devices, and it really is great when I'm having video conferences such as this because I can see people's faces much larger than on my laptop.
Oh, Bill, come on, give us one that isn't a Vizio product.
Okay, one that isn't a Vizio product would have to be, I don't have one. Seriously, I don't. Like, I just appreciate having internet access, to be honest with you. Like,
Fair enough. Chris, what about you?
Well, let's see. I mean, yeah, I have a lot of IKEA products, of course, so that covers a lot of my bases. But I'd say the times I do get out and about, it's really nice to have a smart lock. So I have an August smart lock that I really enjoy. It makes it a lot easier to get out there, take a run, and not have to have your keys with you.
Sungjin, what about you?
Personally, I live with my wife and 3 kids. And during the shelter in place, we truly enjoy using the Nest Hub Max that is linked to our LG smart products as well as smart devices like light bulbs and smart plugs. It has become our daily essential from morning alarm, checking the news, useful recipe instruction, managing kids' schedule, and to turning off live with good night mode, and sometimes singing lullaby for my baby. We really like it, yeah.
That's great, Sungjin. Thank you. See, Bill, I mentioned it can't be self-serving for you, but for me, when it's a Nest product, it's totally okay. And then Jesse, what about you? What has been one of the major smart home products that you've used during work from home?
I really like smart speaker. When I got bored from work, play some music, check weather, just have some silly chat. Even the speaker doesn't reply to me. It's a lot of fun.
Great, cool. So thank you for that. So let's talk about the circumstances. I don't think any of us anticipated the kind of mass scale and impact that COVID-19 would have on us. And of course, it's impacted our businesses pretty significantly. Let's start by having discussion on that. What kind of impact has it had on your business and how are you reacting to it? Jesse, why don't we start with you?
Yes, COVID situation definitely had quite a big impact on the entire AIoT industry. We have seen the business worldwide slow down, and a lot expo was not able to be held. But we also see interesting things happen. The smart devices connected by Tuya worldwide, it's exceed 100 million sets right now. And we have seen the activity of those smart devices actually increased during coronavirus time. And we believe that's because more people stay home and they start to play with their smart devices. And also some of our customers, for example, one customer called Buddy in Indonesia, they produce smart bulbs and plugs, and because they have been very much focused on online marketing and sales, they actually took the opportunity, quadrupled their sales in this period. So we do see crisis happening and also a lot of opportunities happening as well.
What about you, Bill? Can you speak to how it has affected Vizio?
Yeah, I mean, Vizio is in a global manufacturing space impacted by environments in China, Taiwan, South Korea, Vietnam, Mexico, United States, and it's impacted us significantly, sort of in a rolling thunder sort of way. Prior to the pandemic, we were working on rebasing manufacturing due to tariff issues, and right in the midst of that, then we see that we're going to have to open manufacturing in Vietnam. The pandemic hits, Vietnam closes down. We were moving into Mexico. Mexico closes down. So it has been, from a global supply chain perspective, been a significant challenge to overcome. And at the same time, and perhaps not surprisingly, but I think hindsight's 2020, TV sales have never been stronger. It turns out when you have to work at home with your family, you find out you don't have enough TVs or monitors or whatever it is. And so we have been struggling to keep enough supply available in order to meet that demand. We don't know what that means from a macroeconomic standpoint, say in the third and fourth quarters, which are traditionally strong for TV sales, because there has been such a huge run on TVs and speakers over the last couple of few months.
That's incredible. Thanks so much for sharing that, Bill. And Sungjin, your business LG has such a broad set of products that you provide to the market, and like everyone else on this call, has such a global footprint. How has the pandemic affected your business across these many different device types and globally?
It is because the world is more interconnected than ever. It seems like a global pandemic like COVID-19 has a much bigger impact. Maybe we will be living with coronavirus at least through the end of this year, and likely longer until the threat of the virus is mitigated. Accordingly, we found that customer behavior and demand patterns have changed significantly, as Bill mentioned, and may continue to do so. People are getting used to working without contact, and it is expected that the time spent at home will increase significantly more than before. If the time spent at home increases, demand for smart home appliances to make your home feel more convenient, TV and audio for entertainment at home, and IT products like monitor and PC for productivity at home will gradually increase as well. In addition, there are many opportunities for our various care solution products related to virus protection, such as air purifier or Vera, you are familiar with our LG's innovative starter, which easily refresh your clothes with gentle power of steam.
All right, so let's transition a little bit and talk about each of your businesses. One of the kind of core things that's really important is the major paths to user adoption for your products. So let's start with Chris. Can you speak a little bit more about that path for IKEA?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we are, as with all our product ranges, we're starting by looking at what are real customer needs in order to create a good proposition in the first place that our customers want. And we've designed our system in a way that it's expandable. So you can begin with a very simple setup with just a light switch and a light bulb. And then as you progress through your smart home journey, you can add to that. We really believe in making it democratic to everyone. So by that, like we're talking about cost, of course. I mean, once you have a lot of smart home products adding up into your home, it quite rapidly starts adding cost, right? So we invest heavily in keeping our prices low to our customers. We also see that when you're in a home with a smart home, there's often one installer, right? And the other people kind of just live there. We think it's really important that everyone in the home can equally use the products. So one of our strategies there has been to enable multiple different ways of interacting with them. So we have, light switches and dimmers. We have an application, if you prefer that, automations, things like that, but also, of course, voice control, where we use our integration with Google to steer it that way. And what we're finding is that that's really appreciated because people tend to want to use different interaction methods in the home based on what activity they're doing at the time or who they are, right? So I think that kind of gradual approach to it, letting people get interested in the smart home, dip their toes into it a little bit, but also have the expansion opportunities, both within our system and then collaborating with others in order to really make it accessible to as many people as possible. I think that's the key to growing this segment over time.
That's great. Thank you for that. Jesse, you started mentioning a little bit about Tuya. It's your growth has been phenomenal over the last few years. Can you tell us a little bit more about your business and your goals?
Sure, thank you. Tuya is a global leading AIoT platform. What we do is we provide a comprehensive solution, IoT solution, including a smart module, a Tuya public cloud, and app for worldwide hardware and software developers to create various types of smart devices with minimum or even zero R&D cost. And our goal is to connect all types of devices across brands and the categories to make smart living a reality. So since we set up our company has been 6 years, and through the 6 years, we right now are able to support 180,000 clients worldwide, including some very prominent consumer brands, rising brands, their manufacturers, retail channels, online or offline channels, to deliver over 90,000 SKU of consumer devices. And then on top of our own IoT platform, Tuya also started SaaS business last year. Our SaaS systems, including consumer security SaaS, commercial lighting SaaS, healthcare, rental apartment, and hotel SaaS. And those SaaS systems enable a convenient and efficient smart living and smart work environment. We also encourage worldwide SaaS developers to use our SDK API to develop their own SaaS to join us for this new IoT era. So that's our business, and we have been enjoying 3 times to 4 times of growth year over year in the last 6 years. And even pandemic time this year, since May, we have recovered very strong growth versus last year.
Thank you, Jesse. I mean, it's clear just looking at the growth of your business, it illustrates just the immense growth and demand from consumers for smart devices. So that's actually really encouraging to see, I think, for the industry as a whole. So, of course, one of the additional kind of major things that's happened over the last few years is the introduction of assistants in smart home. And I'd love to hear Google, of course, being one of them, and we partner very closely with all four of you. I'd love to hear how the introduction of assistants has impacted your business and your business strategy. So, Sungjin, will you speak to that a little bit?
Yes, thank you for asking. As you know, LG has a wide range of product and business portfolio, not only growing bigger in B2C business, such as TV, home appliances, smartphone, and IT products that LG is known for. We are also heavily investing in B2B business like vehicle solution, hotel TV, digital signage, solar, and system HVAC, etc. LG's products have been developed with different platforms such as Android OS on smartphone, TV with WebOS platform, and appliances with RTOS, while B2B products have also been operating on top of separate platforms. Google Assistant enables a seamless connection among various LG products from the customer's point of view, regardless of such different platform. And through the voice of customers, it is true that it has given us the new turning point to orchestrate more intuitive and various convenient devices. For this reason, our collaboration with Google Assistant, which began on smartphones with the world's first Google Assistant dedicated key, has continued to expand to the Google Assistant built-in OLED TV, as well as all kinds of LG smart home appliances and our full line of luxury built-in signature kitchen suite. Even B2B areas will expand the scope and depth of collaboration with customer needs, and we are confident that we will be able to provide more complete service to global customers with Google Assistant.
Thank you, Sandra. Great. And then, Bill, similar question to you. How has the introduction of these assistants impacted your business and your business strategy?
Well, we think that voice is really the key to unleashing the full benefits of the smart home. The complexity of controlling the smart home through various interfaces, mainly mobile applications, makes it difficult really to gain the most benefit from it. It also makes it difficult to extend that to friends and nannies or babysitters or your family that come over. So we think voice is the key to all of that. We also believe that that you have a number of display surfaces in your life, and perhaps the biggest and most beautiful one is in your living room. And we think it's absolutely essential that the voice assistants integrate with those, being able to bring rich media interactive experiences to the consumer from the voice assistant. And so through integrating protocols like Chromecast, as well as Google Assistant actions, we're able to give consumers experiences that they really couldn't do before. I can say, show me my backdoor security camera on my living room TV, and it just seamlessly pops up your backdoor security camera, and you can look at it, or you can say, watch this movie on that TV. And it's really a phenomenal experience that by combining those technologies, we can bring it all together in a seamless environment.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable, right? I mean, in the past, we were operating with extremely growingly intelligent smart devices. And now we're at the point where we're beginning to see some of these seams go away, where, as Sungjin said, the orchestration becomes pretty key, and you're suddenly able to worry less about like a single device and operating a single device, but a whole home experience. And I think many of us are building in that direction. So it's very exciting to see. Along those lines, I'd love to have a little bit of a discussion on some of these trends that you see in smart home. Bill, you mentioned some of these use cases. If you had a magic wand, what experiences would you bring to smart home, Bill?
Well, I think one of the key impediments to the industry overall is interoperability between ecosystems. I think major technology players are building out their own ecosystems and doing really well within those ecosystems. But if I had a magic wand, I would have to say that from any voice assistant, I should be able to initiate an interactive, rich media experience with any display surface in my life, whether it be a TV, a tablet, a phone, and not worry about the barriers that exist between those. Because consumers are going to get confused, they're going to find it difficult. And honestly, I think that it'll remain kind of a niche sort of thing unless we see that those barriers brought down. Now, having said that, it is all about consumer choice. So we partner very closely with Google on Google Assistant and on Chromecast built in and those sorts of things. But there are other voice assistants out there, and for us, we want the consumer that goes into Walmart, Best Buy, whatever, to know that when they buy our TV and they get it home, it's going to work with whatever assistant that is. So we strive to a great pains to make sure that we're delivering as best an experience with that voice assistant ecosystem as we can provide.
Yeah. And we're talking here about the growing number of devices that every single user has in his or her household. And Sungjin, you spoke a little bit about partnering with us on mobile very early on with the assistant, and then of course we're close partners and works with Hey Google. And Bill's talking about these seams that still exist across these different devices. But Sungjin, how do you think about decreasing these seams? And I'm especially interested in your perspective because your business covers phones, appliances, TVs, etc. So talk a little bit about that.
Good question. What matters most is definitely our customer. Creating value for customers and innovation for better life are always the most important values and visions for LG. At the point, it should be a service that consumers use the most. To make this happen, it is necessary to take a good look at patterns of customer usage and their pain points. As I mentioned, LG and Google are already providing many seamless functions across various LG products, regardless of different platforms. For example, with the Google Assistant, our customers can check the status of their LG home appliances through their smartphone or TV and tell LG OLED TV to turn on the air purifier when the room gets stuffy or turn on robot vacuum as well. However, we found that in order to make these functions more intuitive, we still need to simplify setup and usage and have a better understanding of our customers to deliver what they really want securely. At that point, LG teams are continuously strengthening the functions that customers need by linking with Google Assistant, and we're also preparing new services to make our ThinQ app more convenient, and we hope to create more meaningful partnerships to provide really helpful home to our global customers together.
Yeah, helpful home is something we talk about internally a lot, right? So it's not about each separate device. It's what is the user interaction you're trying to build across them that is actually helpful, right? And that's when the seams will ultimately go away. Well, all right. So Chris, IKEA's had a very kind of both disciplined and specific approach towards what kind of devices you are launching, smart devices you're launching and selling. I'd love to hear, and I'm assuming it's been really successful given some of the things we've seen. What insights have you gathered as IKEA on usage?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I think, we're sitting on about 75 years of experience and knowledge when it comes to life at home. And that's kind of the approach we've taken. We've taken it from the home approach, and then how can we apply technology to problems that people have in their lives? Every year we do a pretty massive report, a Life at Home report, which we also make available to others and publish, where we interview thousands of people, we do a bunch of home visits, and really try and figure out how people are living. One of the things that we started seeing a while back was that people were starting to rate, Wi-Fi connectivity and things like that higher than their furniture. It was more important to have a good internet connection than to have a nice sofa, for example. So that's where we kind of started this journey, thinking about those things and how can we bring technology into people's lives in a way that makes sense for them from a home furnishing perspective and living life at home. And now, as we've started developing these products and we've started releasing them and they're going really well, we're getting, a lot of feedback from our colleagues in the sales channels and also, of course, from our customers about how they're using the products. There's a couple of surprises in there. We've noticed, in the beginning, I think maybe we weren't quite ready for how popular color bulbs, for example, were. Those have proved to be very popular. We were thinking maybe a little bit more, warm colors and so on. It turns out kids loved the colors, adults to a certain extent. But we are seeing other trends such as kids like more bright, the cold white color, for example, and adults tend to prefer warmer colors in their homes. Which has led to some battles over control, I assume, in the evenings. But we use those insights, of course, to create even better products for them and going forward. I think one of the things that we've been really happy about is that we've gotten our theory about the controls validated a lot. People really appreciate, having the option of controlling with voice. Having the option of having a dimmer or a button, where they put it, maybe right next to the light switch where it used to be and so on, and having those habits. We think that what we're seeing is that it's really important that we create these products in a way that they're not worse than what they had before. Like, we didn't start out to actually make smart lighting. We started out to solve the problem of dimming your lights. If that's certain countries that requires having an electrician come to your home and install a dimmer switch. So the solution to that was, for us, a remote control that you could dim the lights in a smart light bulb, and it's just taken off from there. Similar story with our blinds. Those came from the problem that we don't allow cords on any of our blinds due to safety reasons for children. And then we had an issue where people couldn't reach the blinds to pull them down. So we didn't start by making smart blinds. We started by trying to solve that problem of reaching that blind. And then it just happened that really gelled well with the rest. And, we're seeing more and more synergies, more and more areas that are really exciting to explore. And bright future, I think.
I love that, Chris. It's such a fascinating answer where you're starting with a user problem versus like starting with a device and making it smart. And in fact, I've seen so many examples of devices that are just easier to use when they're not smart, and making them smart makes them actually more difficult. But it doesn't surprise me that you guys have seen such great success given your approach of solving the user problem, and like a very specific one too. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Jesse, you spoke a little bit about the unique value proposition that Tuya brings to the table. And on a similar vein, how do you think about driving engagement for your partners?
Yes, we think it's very important to have a unnoticeable or intangible connections for customer, for end users to use smart devices. And that's probably the most critical customer experiences they would have. So we have been working very hard with our great partners like Google and also all our hardware developers to improve the technology, improve the functions to allow customer have a seamless, stable connection, and best for them to not to put in any efforts, and the smart devices can be connected to the internet. in the most stable environment. So we will continue to work hard on that. And for example, like Google has been putting a lot of efforts to make sure the Google Assistants to work with smart devices empowered by Tuya have a best connection. So all those efforts will contribute to this, and we think that's really critical for the end users.
Right. All right, so well, we've covered some of the user experiences that we're building and how they work across device, and that begs the question: how do you think about your business between the hardware and the services? And I'll point that question to you, Bill. How does Vizio think about that balance?
Well, the hardware business is not necessarily a very high margin business in terms of TVs in the United States. TVs are mainly sold as a way to get people to come into stores. There are exceptions, and some brands tailor their business strategy to higher end, higher margin models. Vizio is not one of those companies. In fact, we don't really care about the hardware gross margins per se, because the business is really about monetizing services after the point of sale. And we do that quite effectively by partnering with content creators in order to derive revenue from advertising and other streams of revenue. So for us, in that sense, and it's evolving, especially now, what other services can you bring to the TV? Because as I indicated earlier, and I think Sungjin and Google can attest to this, right now the centerpiece of the smart home, the actual hub of the smart home, is really the smartphone. You mainly set up all your devices that way, you mainly control your devices that way. But as smart TVs actually get smart, because really they're only connected today, if you will, as they get smarter and smarter, the smart TV will then become more of an element of that becomes the anchor to the smart home and can deliver services throughout the smart home. And there's many benefits that the TV provides in that sense, which I won't go into now. But given that, then we can host other services on the TV and share in the upside with those partners who want to bring those services to the smart home. So for us, the services are everything. The TV has to be a fantastic TV with great picture quality, great audio quality. The speakers have to be great. They have to integrate well, and they have to integrate with all the voice assistants. But in the end, it really is about the services we can deliver to consumers.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, and solving each one of those problems is not an easy problem. Building an exceptionally strong piece of hardware, Bill, anyone you would know this really well, given your history, like that is a very hard problem. And then you have to then solve the services problem and then the assistance problem. I mean, we always talk as an industry about how we're trying to move from the early adopter phase into the mass market. And I think I can tell you, I'm super excited about the stage that we're at, because you're beginning to see the beginning of that pretty exponential curve. But as we look at as the people working on this, these are really, really tough problems. And I'm so thankful that we as a community are getting together to talk about it. So with that, I kind of want to start the wrap up. Again, wholehearted thank you. Thank you for everyone listening, and our amazing panelists for joining us today, and again, bringing the community together and sharing some of these insights. And on that note, I'll ask each of you, what is one thing that you would tell your peers as we go into the next year, but then also a little bit further out? If you could give kind of a piece of advice to all of us in this community, what would it be? So let's start with Jessie.
Thank you. I want to refer to Jeff Immelt, our US chairman, has said during one of our last meeting internally. He said it gave us a lesson of crisis management, which helps us to have the ability to hold the truth at the same time. One, it is going to be hard, and we have to work together through this bad time, and we have to take care of each other. That's one truth. But the other truth is that there are going to be big opportunities. The world is going to change. And if we give up the opportunities, it's going to be all bad stuff. So we have to find ways to hold the truth at the same time. And that's very critical. So that's what I want to share with my peers, that although the coronavirus has physically kept us apart, Tuya has employees over 6 countries across Europe, US, South America, China, India, and in German. But the united spirit brings us together. So the connectivity through seamless interconnection is an unstoppable trend. So during this pandemic time, there will always be challenge, but those who take full advantages of this change will find way to succeed. Thank you.
Wow, Jesse, well said. Thank you for sharing that. Remarkable. Sung Jin, what about you?
Yeah, just like our slogan of life is good, LG always trying to continue to make lives of consumers more convenient by developing many innovative products and services. Even though COVID-19 is a global crisis, it could also be an opportunity to get closer to our customers and create a better, innovative customer value. And we are preparing to adapt quickly at the corporate level for the post-COVID-19. I think the new normal era caused by this global pandemic is something none of us have experienced before, and will be difficult to choose the right path alone. However, I strongly believe that we can overcome this crisis in the future with strong collaboration among us. With the background of LG and Google's strategic collaboration in the past 10 years, we hope to create a stronger customer value in the new normal era. Let's make a more helpful home together. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Sung Jin. That was also amazing. Thank you. Chris, what about you?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. I think if I wanted to share something with the industry, I think we need to be mindful of the fact that we're being invited into people's homes in this industry. I think we need to treat that with the same respect as we would if we were physically there. And that to me means, catering for their needs and their desires in their home, and being very mindful of their boundaries and what they want, in order so that we can, foster a relationship where we keep getting invited into their homes. I think that's something that I take very seriously, and I think we need to be very mindful of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said. And Bill, over to you.
Well, thank you for having me again. I appreciate that. I have to say, I'm a half full kind of person, not half empty. We talk about social distancing. I think it's not what we're supposed to be doing. I think we are physically distancing. And that doesn't mean that you don't have to be in touch with your friends and family and colleagues. You can do that. And as Chris suggested, we are in an era where this will be the new normal. And quite unfortunately, for probably longer than most of us think it will be. And we will need to maintain those social connections within our lives. And so when I look at it, yes, we're being invited into people's homes, and privacy is of paramount importance to consumers, and it's of paramount importance to Vizio as well. But at the same time, as they've had to physically distance, they've allowed certain elements into their home that prior to that they weren't allowing. They're bringing cameras into their living rooms, into their home offices. They're bringing in far-field microphones, which was a trend that already had begun, but is also quite polarizing to consumers in a lot of ways. And so they're recognizing the value of this technology in their lives. And what I would say to our peers and my peers is that we have a real opportunity to actually create new experiences. We've danced around it. It's not just about, hey, watch TV and the blinds go down and the lights dim or whatever it is. It's really about a whole realm of new services that are going to come to you, whether it's going to be the delivery of food, whether it's going to be going to concerts virtually because you don't want to go in person, or sporting events. There's going to be a whole realm of these experiences, and they want to do it in a social way, just like they were sitting at that concert venue or like they were at the Super Bowl or whatever. And we can bring those experiences to them if first we ensure their privacy is at the top of the list of concerns we have. And secondly, we each build the components, just like the web came about through mashups after mashups, and IoT came together from mashups. We're seeing a whole new realm of entertainment and services being able to be delivered to customers if we build frameworks that we can mash up, make work seamlessly together, and bring those to the customers.
Well, thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. I think you heard from all four of us, and I'll add on a perspective that while the times are tough, we have an incredible responsibility as an industry being welcomed into people's homes, and we remain optimistic that we can solve really significant problems for our users. And on behalf of Google, I thank all four of you for joining, and I thank the listeners who are tuning in. We hope this was helpful, and we look forward to the additional content we have throughout the summit. So a big wholehearted thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.